So you finally managed to make your way up to the big boss himself, the captain. And now you're suddenly realizing this job is nothing like any other job. You gotta run command, you gotta do everything, you gotta be the most important person on the station. It's a lot to take in. But don't worry, I'm Peash Anjer, the CEO of Peash Burger, and I have a lot of experience being captain, and I'll give you some of that experience for free. Let's start out with the most important item in your possession, the nuclear disc. Both in roleplay and in metagame, this is the most important item on the station. If you lose it, you are going to get fired, you're going to get laughed at, and everyone's day becomes a whole lot more stressful. Do not lose sight of the goddamn nuclear disc. While revolutionaries and zombies, being revolutionaries and zombies, have no reason to go for it, the Cindies often have it as a steal objective, and the Nukies, well, if the Nukies get it, you die. Everyone dies. Don't give the Nukies the disc at all costs. I'll go over how to deal with Nukies in a separate video. This is more about roleplay. Anyways, it's time to talk about your other equipment. And this isn't a combat video, so I'm not going to talk about the sword and the pistol too much. What you need to know is that the sword is good as a slashing weapon, it is not a syndicate objective, and the laser is a syndicate objective, but is a self-charging laser that it shoots people. It's a laser. There's also the Captain's ID, which I don't have to really explain why a Cindy would want access to the entire station. It's also an objective, but, you know. There's also the two other spare IDs, which you can consider giving to the head of security and head of personnel, or any other head of staff that you think would find useful if an emergency situation starts. Reminder, don't give these out round start. It's against the rules and kinda cringe. Last on the list for official antagonist objectives, you have your jetpack, which can fit in your backpack. It's a jetpack, it's pretty good. If you want to carry it on you, fair enough. If you don't, also fair enough. You also have several other useful items in your locker, and let's start with the pinpointer. The pinpointer is a simple item that points towards the nuclear disc whenever it's on. You'll probably have several of these in several different locations like the vault, your desk, your locker. I'd give them to the head of security, warden, and chief medical officer respectively. But there are several other options for who to give these to. Next up, you have the flash that all heads spawn with, and a disabler, which several heads spawn with. If you don't know what these do, then you need to play more security. You also have your stamp. It's a stamp. You stamp things with it. Duh. And the last item, your command remote, is effectively all access, since if someone gets their hands on it, they're just going to use it to go directly into your office and immediately steal one of your spare IDs. Do not lose track of this. Let's finally get to how we actually roleplay the goddamn job. First of all, you need to get into the right mindset. And that right mindset is, up for debate. But my opinion is, Peash Anjer's 3 pillars of good leadership. Having a solid mix of leading by example, leading by department, and leading by connection will result in you having a successful round. Let's start with leading by example, since it's by far the easiest to do. Leading by example is actually pretty damn simple if you know what you're doing. What you need to do is you need to go out, interact with people, and act the way you want them to act. Be polite. Be efficient. Have a plan to... Essentially, you need to act like you want the crew to act. If there's a bunch of sneaky little Cindies and thieves running around, you need to be vigilant of everything, and the crew will be vigilant of everything. If there's a terrorist group that's running around blowing up everything and the entire crew needs to fight them, you need to rally the troops and be aggressive as hell towards whoever's doing it. Yell at them, swear at them, do whatever. When you act in a good way, the crew will act in a good way. The opposite also applies absolutely. For example, in this clip, I have a head of security here, and I'm a syndicate, and I'm trying to get into the captain's office to steal his jetpack. And this head of security could not give a rat's ass about what I'm doing, because the captain this shift has been letting cloud spiders run amok and do whatever, by his own protection. And as such, I'm able to just walk past all of SEC, wearing Cap's suit, wearing Cap's backpack, not even attempting to disguise the fact that I've stolen them, because they're all tired of Cap's crap and don't care that he got stolen from. They just don't care. Never cause more problems than you're solving. If you make a department angry, if you make a department sick of your crap, they're not going to do their jobs and they're not going to help you. Of course, this is where we get to part 2. Or pillar 2, I guess. Let me shift your mindset here so that you can understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. Every head of staff has a department. The captain's department is command. And just like any other department, all the people in it will bicker and fight and moan and whine, and some of them are going to be idiots. You would think that with a large amount of time required to learn each command role and even gain access to it, all of the command would be the seasoned veterans of the departments, the greatest of them. Half the time they're just stupid morons. It's a bell curve. And if you don't know what a bell curve... hold on. Most people are going to fall into the very center of this whole curve of competency. And it's not all bad. Sometimes you're going to get people on the far right, the best of the best, really amazing command staff that are going to go above and beyond to do what they need to do to keep the station running. Here's some examples. In this clip, I hear that the chief medical officer has been kidnapped over radio, and I immediately run in. Guess who's behind me without a single moment of hesitation or any communication? The head of security. He was paying attention to comms. He knows what's going on. He goes to follow the blood trail while I check out the weird surgery room. I find the chemist. I start attacking him. He hears the noise. He comes back. He gets the chemist. Chemist arrested. CMO saved. Situation done. Although sometimes you're going to have idiots like this research director who, for some reason, decides it's a great idea to break into armory. So how should you, as the captain of the entire station, deal with your command staff doing stupid things? Honestly, it depends on their level of screw-up. Like, this research director here, he needs to be fired immediately. Attempting to break into armory is something anyone can see as obviously a stupid decision to do. He needs to be removed from his job immediately. Fired, gone, nada, removed. Passenger, be gone. Whereas other screw-ups can be met with a stern warning or a no, stop that, or actively humiliating them, or just a soft emotion, not all the way to passenger, just get them out of the head of staff role. Screw-ups like not listening to comms, not turning on their cords, or giving actively deceptive command readings, or just abandoning their post. You could probably just demote them back down to a smaller level. It depends on your, I guess, level of forgiveness. Aside from dealing with incompetent head of staff, you can run the station through them, assuming they're, doing their damn job. Let's say medbay gets bombed. You inform SEC of who did it immediately by using their communication system because you've intercepted Med's comms, because you have access to all the comms. You inform NG that there's spacing's happening in this location, like at the bridge right here specifically. Security catches the guy that did it, and they have an EMP implant, so medical needs the supplies from cargo to make an implanter so that security can get the implanter out, and at the same time, security needs additional reinforcements because of the amount of crap they're dealing with. They need disabler SMGs, so science needs the tech to make them, and cargo needs to give security the stuff to make that, and there's a lot going on. You need to coordinate all of it. When the departments work together and flow together, everything goes better, problems get fixed faster, Sid needs to get caught faster, and everyone lives better. Additionally, if a department is understaffed, especially engineering, the onus is upon you to do whatever that department requires and get stuff done. Like in this clip, all of this stuff I'm doing with engineering, all this repairing I'm doing, that's because engineering is severely understaffed and they need the help. You need to run based on your departments because trying to micromanage every single crew member will not work. However, that isn't to say that having personal relationships with each individual crew member, when applicable, can't help. This is where the third pillar comes in, leading by connection. Let me give you an example of this. So, unfortunately, I just checked the footage. It got corrupted, but let me give you a terrible mock-up of how it happened. So this Tyner broke into Hop. Now, that's obviously secure trespass, but the reason he did it was actually sort of fair enough. Basically, he needed an ID, there's no Hop, and he was trying to get my attention far earlier, and I ignored him because there was power issues and I had to help Edgy out, but yeah. He actually had a fair enough reason. Now, I could just have him arrested for secure trespass, but I choose to accept that sometimes just people do illegal stuff, And I just gotta deal with it. So I give him a new ID, and I send him on his way. And later in the shift, that same Tider that I gave the ID to, he comes back and helps me fight a dragon armed with nothing but a crowbar and sheer Tider determination. I don't have the footage of it, but it happened. If you use your infinite power over the entire station to help a Tider out, they'll do everything for you. Every role on the station wants to feel included. And if the captain themselves says, hey, good job, or just gives them a, haha, funny joke, I like that joke, good job, they will go out of their way to give you specifically a hand. And when you get a hand, the entire station gets a hand. Additionally, going out of your way or even doing incredibly stupid things like I'm doing right here can go miles for making people help you. As a captain, you need to be the beacon that the entire crew rallies around. And that is no easy task. Hopefully my guide to captaining has been at least a little helpful for your first forays into the world of leadership. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube meta crap, but I really want comments that are critical of the video. Like, if I miss something major, if there's an editing error, whatever. I need criticism so that I can improve better and make these better guides for you people. And remember, I'm Peash Anjer. Glory to Peash Burger, and have fun playing Space Station. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to play Cap. Cap's my role. Get out of my role. I'm the only captain here. I'm the only one allowed.